Hi guys. So you might see a different background right now because I'm sitting outside. Sorry if I'm squinting or if the lighting's weird or anything like that. I tried to get you set up the best way that I could. It's not ideal, but for right now it'll work. Things have been a little hectic, so I haven't been able to record either because I'm too busy or some days I'm just not able to record. I'm not in the mood mentally, and there's been a lot going on. So I'm gonna kind of speed through exactly what's going on and some of my appointments and things like that. Like I said, I'm outside, so sorry about the car. You're actually propped up on a ladder and I'm sitting in a chair here. I thought that my parents had the picnic table pulled out already. I'm sitting in their yard and it's still put away for the winter, so I came out with my tea and everything and I'm like, oh no, what do I do? So I just grabbed a ladder and a lawn chair and here we are for now. I'm sure I'll get a better setup out here or somewhere for later on, but for right now this is going to have to do. Hopefully you can hear me okay too. I don't have the mic on, I just am using the built-in mic on the camera. But anyway, I'm going to another car's coming. I'm going to speed through what happened at some of my appointments and things like that, and if you are going through a similar process as to me, or you're just diagnosed and you're watching me to get some answers, and you have any questions, just feel free to leave them in the comments below. You can also message me on YouTube. I know sometimes it's weird or to do that, sometimes you can't, or you can DM me on Instagram. And I also have my tea here, so I'm drinking cinnamon, chamomile, and orange peel tea. I've been drinking a lot of dandelion tea too. Just a little sidebar here that it's been proven to be, in some studies, as effective as chemotherapy on cancer treatment. So it's kind of interesting that a lot of people are killing off a lot of the things that cure us. You know, I see people outside right now, it's springtime, pulling dandelions out of the yard, and yeah, there's a lot of studies that prove that it can actually help you, so I just find that interesting. There's a whole bunch of dandelions here. My parents don't kill them, we just chop them down. Anyway, so the last time I left off, I do believe, so there was Jamie's head shaving, which was completely awesome of her to do. She's been a huge help without me even asking. You know, we just told her about my diagnosis and she's just been going. You know, she's doing so much for myself and my husband, Michael, her brother, without us ever asking. And you know, sometimes I haven't been able to talk to her. It's either I'm busy and she's a nurse, she works nights and she's been busy with a lot of things, and some days when she is available to talk, I'm just so tired. But you know what? She just still keeps going. She's been doing so much for us and I'm so grateful. And I hope one day when I'm better that I can do a lot to help women going through this as well, and men. Yeah, so that was quite awesome. And then the video before that I had left off, that I had told, I do believe I left off where I had told Dr. H what I wanted to do, which was a double mastectomy with immediate reconstruction. And I did want to do the genetic testing, but I wasn't sure about it, but I still said yes, and then I was gonna kind of take a little bit of time to decide, because she said it wouldn't be months until I was able to go, probably until the end of summer for that testing, because they're so booked up. And so what's happened since then, so that was filmed. Sorry, I'm not crying, it's just my allergies. Glad to be back out in the country, actually. Being exposed to this usually helps me get over it. I know it sounds weird, but once I moved to the city, my allergies got a lot worse. But the last time I filmed had to have been between April 5th and April 19th. Today's May 7th. So it's been a little bit of time. I can't remember the last day I filmed. I could go on my computer and check, but it doesn't really matter. What does matter though is April 19th, I had, no, I think I had said that I had the appointment for the genetic testing. Yeah, but it was before I went. Anyway, so April 19th was my appointment for the genetic testing, and that was at the cancer clinic in Windsor. So she had told me the risks of finding out, you know, and I had expressed her concern that my family members wouldn't be able to get insurance if they got the testing as well. So if it came out that I had a BRCA defect or some other sort of genetic defect, that, sorry, a tractor. I guess it's like squirrel, I get so distracted. Oh, I think it's a school bus. Is this a school bus? Yeah, it's a school bus. I'll just drink my tea. So that must mean it's about 3 o'clock. What was I saying? So yeah, if it came out that I have a genetic defect, then my family members would be able to get tested immediate first, moving on and outward from there. And I had said that I was a little bit scared of, if I did have a genetic defect, A, telling them, and B, them getting tested and then them having issues with insurance. But I guess we had passed, Canada had passed a law about a year ago that it was like a non-genetic discrimination act or something like that. And sorry, my nose is running out too. I know that's gross, but it's allergies. And yeah, companies, insurance companies, employers and things like that aren't allowed to ask your genetic information. They can ask if, like let's say my brother, he went to get life insurance. They might say, has a family member had cancer, and he would have to say my sister, but he wouldn't have to say, but I also have the BRCA gene. He wouldn't, like a genetic defect, so he wouldn't have to say that. Anyway, so I ended up, once I found out that there was a law passed that companies can't do that, I was a little bit more keen on getting the test done. So I did get the testing done. I was surprised I heard back so quick for the appointment. I heard back from the genetic testing lab faster than the surgeons, and Dr. H said it would have been reversed. I would have heard back from the surgeons within like 2 days, and the genetic testing wouldn't be for months. But when I was asking the lady there that does it, she said, oh, well, we found your case interesting and there was a cancellation, so I slipped you in. And I was like, well, why am I interesting? And she's like, because you're 27 and you have cancer. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm like everybody's little interesting experiment guinea pig. Now, the program in Windsor for breast cancer is fairly new. It's only about a month old, actually. So the program actually started about when I was diagnosed. It's that new. But they have surgeons there that have been doing these type of surgeries for a while. It's not like the surgeons are new at it, it's just the program there is new. One of the surgeons came from London that's going to be doing my plastic surgery, so she had worked there for years and years, so it's not like she doesn't know what she's doing, it's just to the hospital, it's new. Sorry, oh my goodness. Whew, the longer I sit out here, worse it gets. And now I'm going on and on, but I want to at least try to explain a little bit. Anyway, so after the genetic testing, I just was waiting to hear back, and waiting to hear back from the surgeon office to see what was going on. And I hadn't heard back, so I called Dr. H's office and was like, what's going on? It had been like 2 weeks. And they said that they'd look into it. They said and then they called me back, said I was still on the pile on the waiting list and that I should hear back shortly. Then the next day, I heard back, and so they had scheduled me in for May 2nd to meet with Dr. I'll call her Dr. G. And she's the surgeon that would be doing the mastectomy portion. And they scheduled me in to meet her at the Windsor Hospital in the breast clinic, and I was gonna see her. And then the next day I was supposed to see Dr. L, who is the plastic surgeon. And then appointments kept getting moved around because I had 3 appointments in Windsor that week, which, like I said, is quite a far drive for me. And they knew this, and I don't know who's looking after my case, but they kept shifting it around. They keep shifting everything around to make it very convenient for me. It's not like it's still easy, but at least they're trying to help with the traveling. and the time and trying to get a lot of things done at once. But I was supposed to see Dr. G and then Dr. L later on, and I ended up going to Dr. G's office, and her secretary said, can you wait 20 minutes for your appointment? We can have the lady who's supposed to be after you go now, because we were both there. And she's like, because Dr. L's actually in the OR right now, and she called up and said for you to wait if you could. So it would be nice if you could talk to both of them together, because they're both going to be working on you at the same time. And then we can all kind of talk together. I said, okay, yeah, that's cool. So about 20 minutes later, the other lady was done. So I went in to see Dr. G. Dr. L wasn't out of the OR yet. And so I talked to Dr. G about what to do, and I was signing consent forms, and we were going over what was going on. Then Dr. L came in, and she described what she's going to be doing. If you're a dude and you're a little bit sensitive to talking about female parts, maybe you can stop watching now, because, well, I'm not going to be discreet about what I'm saying, I guess. But so Dr. L had said, you know, we can definitely do the reconstruction. And then Dr. G said, well, are you going to be able to save her nipple? And then Dr. L was like, does it matter to you? And she was asking me, and I was like, well, if you can save my nipple, yeah, please do. And she's like, well, I know I can save the one on the nipple on the side that you don't have cancer, but the side that you do have cancer, I don't know. And she's like, then I might not be able to make your breasts symmetrical. And I was like, well, they're not completely anyway, you know, the one that has cancer is bigger than the other one. So I was like, you can make the other one bigger, or you can make the one that has cancer smaller. I don't know what you can do, but I would rather have asymmetrical boobs and a nipple. And now that I think about it, I'm kind of like, because they're gonna put dye in, so I'm gonna have a blue nipple. They're actually tattooing it, so they're tattooing it blue. So I don't know. But she said that she can try to do that. She can try to save the nipple on my right breast, but she can't guarantee it, and they've never done that surgery at that hospital, so she's not sure. And she said what could happen is the nipple could still die, she could save it, but then in a week or two it could die, and then I would have to come back in for another emergency surgery, and I would probably lose the implant, and then I would have to have expanders put in my chest. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're in surgery and you think that this nipple's going to die because you've done this a lot of times, and she's like, yeah, just not here, then we can, then I said, just take it. I was like, if you think that it's going to cause me issues and everything like that in the future, it's not for, like, I'm not for that. I said, do what you can to make my body stay as much my body as possible, but if you think that something's going to hurt me, do what you think is right. At the end of the day, if I can't have implants, if I can't even have breasts, as long as I have my life, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to look pretty. If you can make me look okay at the end, yeah, okay, I'm okay with that. That would be nice. But at the end of the day, I'm here so you can save my life. I'm not here for a boob job. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, you're the perfect patient. So we were discussing risks and things like that, and she's like, okay, so we'll order your implants, and Dr. G was like, yep, we'll get everything done here. And I was like, okay, yeah, so when is my surgery? And they're like, oh no, because we were all like, they were both talking back and forth so much, and with me, and my poor husband's sitting there looking in the corner because the whole time I have my shirt off and we're just sitting there talking. But they're all females, not they're all. Dr. L and Dr. G are females, their secretaries are females, every doctor that I've dealt with, they're females, so it kind of does make it a little bit nice, you know, sitting there with your top off and having two doctors talk about you. It would feel a little different if it was two men versus two women, and it's just how it is. I still don't really feel like, how much time's on there? Okay. I still don't really feel like my body's my body anymore, you know. I've seen so many people at this point, you know, with my top off, that it's like, whatever. And at this point too, it's like, I'm gonna only have these breasts for a couple of days anyway, so whoever sees them, you know. enjoy them while I still have them. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm getting a little nervous. I really am. So we did all that. Oh yeah, so the day of my surgery. So they said, your surgery is Wednesday. So the day I had seen them was Wednesday, May 2nd. I said, my surgery is like next Wednesday, like in a week? They're like, yeah. Okay, like, and the neighbor's dogs. Great. I'm just gonna keep going because I don't have time. I have stuff to do this afternoon. So, oh my god, this is just not good. So I said, okay, my surgery is in a week. That's pretty quick. You know, I figured I'd have a month or so to actually prepare and let all this sink in, you know, deciding on what exactly we're gonna do and this and that, and okay, I'll have my surgery in a week then. I can't really change that. They're like, well, you know, and I had said like, wow, a week, and they were like, well, yeah, we need to get this out now. We need to know what's going on now. Sooner the better. And I had asked Dr. L too if she could put my drains on the inside rather than the outside. I had spoken with a coworker who's extremely lovely, and she's been a great help and inspiration, but I haven't asked her if I can talk about her on here. So I'm just going to say that she's a coworker of mine, and she's gone through mastectomy and immediate reconstruction. I hope you can hear me. And she said she's gone, but she went through it the hard way, like the partial, I believe it was like the lumpectomy, then the mastectomy on one side, then a full mastectomy. I think she's gone through it all, which is not the greatest thing, but anyway, she has advice to give, right? And she said that she's had drains on the outside and on the inside, and the drains on the inside, even though it leaves a little bit bigger, like a scar that to you would be more visible looking straight on, it's a lot more comfortable than having drains on the basically in your armpits. What is it, anterior drains, because when you close your arms it's always pinching and it makes it really hard to sleep. She said the inside, if you have like drains here on the inside, that you know, you can keep them kind of tucked away, folded up, you're not hitting them as much, it's more comfortable. So I did ask Dr. L if she could do that. She said that she could. She said she hasn't done it before, but she can look it up and she can try. It's just, but she's going to be using cadaver skin as a flap to hold the implant in, and that's going to be like lower in the breast. So she said that if she can't get the drain under that safely, she'll still have to do drains. I believe it's anterior, but the drains like near your armpit at the side here, she'll have to do those. So we'll see what I end up with. I've kind of been a little bit open. I said, do what you think's safe, then do what you think is comfortable, and then do what you think would make me look the best. So then, what day would it have been? It was the Friday, yeah. So, yeah, Friday the 4th, so 2 days later, I had to go back to Windsor to see my gynecologist to talk about what we're going to do about everything else that's going on with me. Like I said, I had a couple abnormal pap smears, and now with the genetic testing, and with being diagnosed with cancer, you're not allowed to take birth control and all these things. So I just want my gynecologist to stay in the loop, and she actually, her office is right beside the hospital. All of these doctors that I'm dealing with kind of know each other because they're all situated around the hospital. And when I did mention to my gynecologist who the two surgeons were that were working on me, she knows them, and she's like, they're really, really good. So that made me feel more comfortable. But the day that I had to go in to see her, Dr. L had called me and asked if I could just come in to fill out some forms that we had forgotten to do. If I happened to be in Windsor for anything else. And I said, okay, yeah, I can come in Friday morning. So when I went there, it was funny, she actually had ordered all the implants and they had gotten there, so I actually got to like see them and hold them, and we got to decide what ones. And what we've decided to do is we're going to do the full mastectomy, we're going to do the reconstruction right away, but then we're gonna let myself heal for a little bit, and then we're going to go back in and then like try to fix it up and basically redo the reconstruction to have it look a little bit better. Because she thinks that the safest route is to leave them asymmetrical, try to save the nipple, just kind of get implants in there to hold the skin and make everything look somewhat decent, let myself heal up a little bit, and then we can see how everything's sitting and then go in and fix everything. And hopefully after those 2 surgeries I'll be okay and everything will be good. The only thing is if when Dr. G takes out my lymph nodes, that's the thing. If the lymph nodes come back with cancerous cells, or then we have a problem. Then the construction of the second reconstruction about like making things look pretty will have to be down the road. Also, once I see the oncologist, because I haven't even done that yet, because they just want me to get the surgery, get it out first, because it's that dangerous of a cancer. Then I can see the oncologist, and Dr. G did say that it's possible that they're going to want me to do chemo in between. So I don't know, we're just going to get this surgery done, try to get all the cancer out, and then go from there. And I think that that's the best route. That was my decision, and I think that it's the right decision. Like I said, mentally I'm trying to keep it together, and I'm trying to keep everything logical and not emotional. I think the doctors can recognize that I'm kind of detached from it. How much time's left? Okay. And I am, but I have to be right now. I have to think what's gonna save my life, what's safe for me, what's comfortable for me, and then aesthetically. I know that, I kind of have a makeup channel where I like to do that, but to me, makeup's more of like a fun thing. It's more of an art form than exactly beauty. I find beauty in the mundane. I'll find beauty in an old broken building. Like there'll be a nice condo beside it, and I'm looking at the rundown building as beautiful, So I'm okay. To me, what's beautiful is being able to see everything in the world that's beautiful. I don't have to be anybody's form of beautiful. My husband's already said, I'll love you no matter what. I don't love you exactly for what you look like, although of course it helps, but he loves me for me inside. Beauty fades. So, eventually I'll be 80 with, if I hadn't had breast cancer or anything like that, with saggy boobs and wrinkles, so it's fine. It's fine. So, but on top of that, the reason why I'm at my parents' house is once again the help, but also it's just so nice sitting out here. So we've had a lot going on. What's going to happen is my brother's going to be staying at my apartment looking after it, and my husband, me, and my little puppy Olivia are going to live out here, and that'll be until I'm better. So, you know what, I think, let's see here. So, yeah, I'll tell you really quickly what's going to happen tomorrow and Wednesday. But I am going to be taking you along with me. Like I said, if you have any other questions, I know I'm kind of rambly. A lot's been going on and my thoughts are kind of everywhere. But if you have any questions about anything, just feel free to ask me. Seriously, just ask. So tomorrow, Tuesday, I have my pre-op appointment at 10:30. So I'll have to leave here around 8 in the morning and be able and get there. So that's just like the typical urine test, blood test, go over all the risks once again, get my weight, get the for the anesthesia and all that. Then I can go get some lunch, and then I have to go to nuclear medicine for 3 o'clock, and that's to get the tattooing done. So what they're going to do is they're going to, just in case you're not aware, so since they're doing a mastectomy, instead of a lumpectomy, they have to do the dye before the surgery. So what they're going to do is they have to insert the dye through the nipple, because then they can see where, if your cancer spread out, what lymph nodes it would go to, because every person's different. because you have a cluster of lymph nodes in here, right? So every person, like for me, it could go to this lymph node, and for you it could go to this lymph node, or for another person it could go over here first. So what they're going to do is put the dye in, and whatever lymph nodes collect the most dye, they know those are lymph nodes that would probably have had the cancer spread to them. And so they can't, and the only way they can get that is through putting the dye in the nipple. They can't just like put dye through your blood, because then it would be at every lymph node. It's just how it drains, I guess. I'm not a doctor, but they've explained it a little bit. So it's better than them removing all the lymph nodes in my arm to see, right? So they're going to do the dye at 3 o'clock. And then the Wednesday I have my surgery, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to get a hotel and stay there. So Michael and I got a hotel. We're going to stay up there the night. So I'm going to be there until about 5, so I wouldn't get home until 6 or 7. And then I would have to get up again at 4 a.m. to go for my surgery, so it just makes more sense, excuse me, for me to stay in Windsor. And we decided to get a hotel just to kind of spend a night by ourselves, away from everything, and just maybe not talk about it. You know, it's kind of what everybody just wants to talk to me about, and I need a couple hours of not talking about it, or being scared of what I'm saying to other people. Like when I'm saying it to the camera here, it's a little bit different because I'm just saying what I'm feeling in my heart, and I'm not worried about offending anybody. But when I'm talking to other people, you know, sometimes I say 2 words and they almost start crying, so yeah. Okay, I got a couple more minutes left. So we're gonna stay at the hotel, and then my surgery is Wednesday, and I have to be there for 8 a.m. to get all prepped and everything, and I'm gonna be in the OR at 10 a.m. And what they're gonna do is Dr. G is gonna do the mastectomy and the lumpectomy. Not the lumpectomy, the lymphectomy. I don't know what it's called. She's taking the lymph nodes. She's either taking them or she's biopsying them. I've heard a couple things. But she's going to do the mastectomy and something with the lymph nodes, and then move on to the other side. And then when she's moving on to the other side, Dr. L's going to come in and reconstruct the one breast. And then once Dr. G's done the mastectomy on the other side, Dr. L's going to finish the reconstruction there, and then Dr. G's going to like help and do that kind of thing. So they're going to work in conjunction with each other and as a team, so I think that's really cool. So it's actually cutting my surgery time down, so they think it should only be about 5 hours, but we'll see. So even if it's 5 hours plus me having to be there at 8, that's 7 hours there. I have 2 nights booked at the hospital. Hopefully I don't have to use them and I can go home. Dr. L says I can go home. Dr. G says maybe not, so we'll see. I still have a bag packed for that. So I just have to be there for 8 a.m. and I just can't eat or drink anything after midnight, and then I will have gotten that done. So I'm going to try to, I don't know if I'll have the confidence, but I'm going to try to record up there a little bit and take you along with that for that journey. And if not, guess I'll see you when I see you.